Welcome to the Ska History Hour with your hosts, Jose Rojas
Hello.
and myself, Daryl Rubio, wherein the purpose of this channel is to spread awareness of ska music and its subgenres to the world. Our guests today are members of the only ska band from Modesto, California, the Bracers.
Hello.
We appreciate you taking the time to speak with us to share your stories and your music with the ska community. Can you please each tell us about yourself, your name, your role in the band, and anything about you personally, please?
Sure. You want to go first, Jules?
Nope. You. You.
Okay. Hi, my name's Dave Bracer. I started the Bracers 4 years ago. I play guitar, I sing, I write songs, and occasionally play saxophone.
All right.
Okay, I'm Jules Lobo, and I joined the band a little over a year ago. And I sing, and I do some hand percussion, and we do a lot of recording together. And yeah, it's great. Best experience of my life musically. So, um,
Cool.
we kind
And
of our hometown's kind of small, so there's really not much ska around, especially the fact that we try to keep things really traditional from the earlier ska and reggae genres, and we play rock steady too. So it's kind of we're different than everyone around, so it's kind of cool. We're putting out new interesting stuff.
Awesome. And who's this
and
other one to your left, Jules?
Oh, hi, I'm Meta Goodwin. You might know me from such shows as This is Ska Radio and This is Ska Records. I put out or helped put out, co-released with Escape Hatch Record, the brand new EP on cassette. We just lost Dave, and now he's back. So we got that. Very fun. And I think we'll be out of these here real soon. So if you haven't gotten a copy, you want to pick one up, you can shoot the Bracers email, thebracersband@gmail.com, and Dave or Jules will get one out to you. Make sure to pick up one from them on the road to Ska Alabama. We pressed 100 of them up to begin with. May end up doing that. There will be a 7-inch that will be out on Escape Hatch, but it looks like we got an order for 40 that goes out, and we got somebody wanting 15. So there's almost half of them gone right there, and there's the pre-orders that went. So they're dwindling. So I'm just putting that out there. If you want a copy, pick it up.
all right.
Getting low.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thanks, y'all.
Now, I usually start off by asking if any of the band members started in the high school band. Did you guys?
We were in previous bands. I started a band in high school.
Bands.
High school band.
Yeah, high school
band. Okay.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I started a band in high school called the Hymens.
Oh,
But
okay.
I think he's talking about marching band or jazz band.
Oh, well, I did jazz band. Yeah, I did
Okay.
jazz band. I started playing violin in elementary school and moved on to saxophone in like junior high, and picked up the guitar around then, about 13.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
that's about the time I joined bands.
Awesome. And whose idea was it to form this ska band?
It was my idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was tired of there not being any ska music in Modesto. So, especially rock steady or early traditional ska. So, I started the Bracers and came up with the name, the Bracers, after a bracer, which is an alcoholic beverage that prepares you for something uncomfortable.
Oh.
Or
really?
an armor that you wear on your arm. You know, it's double meaning there, but that's where. Yeah.
Well, cheers to that.
Jules, were you in high school band, choir, anything like that?
I was. It's a very inappropriate name. I was in a punk band.
No. Were you in choir in high school marching band or?
Well, I come from a musical family, so my grandmother was a traditional vocalist, very doing a lot of standards and so forth, like ballroom style, crooning music. My father was a drummer in a country band that I was kind of forced into when I was 9. So when I broke free in high school, I started exploring a lot of different music, and Sinead O'Connor kind of changed my life. So
Oh.
that and like Green Day. So and from there it was like, I was listening to everything under the sun. Yeah. And I just kept on with music here and there throughout my life. I think the longest I've been without a band was probably about a 6-year stretch
Oh.
in my 30s. Yeah.
So not that I'm in the band, but I sang choir in high school
Okay.
for 3 years, and I played clarinet in the 6th grade for about 3 weeks until I told the band instructor to F off.
You would. You would.
That'll get you banned.
I knew you were a deviant.
Degenerate.
He told me literally what I said. He asked if anybody could play a certain note. I raised my hand because I learned it outside because I didn't want to play clarinet. I wanted to play saxophone, just like Dave. And he wanted me to play trombone because my 2 older brothers played trombone. And I knew, okay, if I do clarinet, it's the bridge, the gap. I'll do that.
Right.
And then if I go to junior high or high school, well, I was taking lessons outside. I had learned what he had asked. He asked, I said yes. He said, no, you can't. I haven't taught you. I said something flippant like, you didn't teach me how to wipe my ass. I know how to do that just fine. Played the note. He goes, what was that? I said, what did you ask? I played it again. I dropped it and said, I'm out. And I walked out.
Good
And
for
then he was a
you.
junior high instructor. So, that kind of knocked that out.
Oh.
Stick it to the man, Midos.
It could have been a
That
conductor.
was to me. I should have just went, no, I'm going to do this. F that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I see your
But now I
band.
play the slink in my phone.
I see your band started in 2021. Is that right?
That's true. Yes.
All right. You already told us normally about how your band came together. No, other bands there. You wanted, of course, people to hear the music. For your releases, Moonstone EP. I'm sorry, Moonstone. It defaults to that.
Moon
Stomp.
Stomp.
The
Yeah, yeah.
Moonstomp EP. The newest one, the 3 Million Miles EP, which is right now on cassette only.
Yes.
What other bands, or what were the first bands that you each heard about when learning about the ska genre?
Ooh. For me, it was in high school. I remember hanging out with the punks, and they were all listening to like Rancid and Operation Ivy. That was my first introduction to ska music, and No Doubt and Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, was pretty big around that time. So, everybody heard that on every commercial and every TV show, and it was out there.
And every movie, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For me, it was like the Selector was really big. I was born in like the 80s, or like 1980. I'll just say it. So there was a lot played, and I really didn't recognize it for what it was because I was pretty young. But then when I heard it later on via friends and cultural experiences I had, I recognized it for what it was. I was like, oh, that's ska. That's cool. And I heard I was really big into the English beat. I really liked early bands like the Gay Lads and the Pioneers, and just, a lot of really cool music based on the people I was hanging out with. And it just got me hooked. And then too, I got to see like other reggae bands like that weren't necessarily ska, but I got to see some really cool bands in San Jose, like No Doubt came through, and we had Skank and Pickle and stuff like that. So I got exposed to a bit of it.
Oh.
Awesome.
Speaking of singing people, that was the first ska record that Aaron Carnes ever bought was a Skank and Pickle CD he bought from me when Cherry Pop and Daddies were opening up for Skank and Pickles, standing at the same table. I tried to sell him a 7-inch, tired of being pork hunts by the Porkers, but he wouldn't buy it. But for me, as far as the gateway bands and all, much like everybody else, is like I'd heard a bunch of stuff early on and just didn't know what it was until the late 70s, early 80s when the two-tone hit. I'll admit it. I was born. I'm a child of the 80s, but I was a teen of the 80s. I graduated high school in 1985. So Madness, the Specials, English Beat, and all that. But I was living in L.A. Before moving to Modesto, and so I would see the Untouchables at Knott's Berry Farm, Fishbone, the bands from LA that were playing, some of the other bands, the Targets and whatnot, Moving Targets actually, that were playing. And it's like, so you got that a little bit. You had Carol Hugh playing a lot of the two-tone stuff, so that's around you. Later, I realized that some of my dad's records that I really enjoyed had ska and rocksteady on it. My dad, loved music, balls types. He was a hippie, but I still have, his original copy from '73 of The Harder They Come. So I'd heard a lot of that stuff, Desmond Decker, Prince Buster, and all that. Just didn't know what it was. In my mind, that was all reggae because reggae was the word, in America, at least at that time. So
still kind of is, a
and
lot
then,
of people mistake
saw No Doubt many times and everybody else. I might have
They
even been
mistake
at
the
the same
reggae with
show
the
as
ska all the
was
time.
at seeing No Doubt in San Jose. Pardon?
They mistake the
Now?
ska with the reggae all the time,
Yes.
People think ska is reggae because,
It's fast
there's the
reggae.
upstroke, Yeah, well, it's just fast reggae. It's like, okay, well, you don't realize that ska came before reggae.
Wait, it came before reggae.
Yeah, a lot of
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't see the Bob Marley movie?
In
Right,
1997 with Real Big Fish.
Simmer down. Yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes too, I feel like if you talk about Rocksteady and Mento these days, people are like, "What?"
The Fresh Maker.
Yeah. So it's like, what is Mento? And it's
The
like,
Fresh
do you know what
Maker.
Calypso is? Like, no.
Just showing his age.
Right.
So your
Full
bassist,
commercial.
your bassist is none other than Curtis Meacham of Monkey. How did that come about?
Curtanus, aka Acoustic Hunt.
Yes.
Kurt,
That's our
Kurt,
loving
for the
nickname for
record.
him.
Yeah, I saw on YouTube videos that you had a few different bases before.
Yes.
Yeah. So how
They
did
have
you
a few different bases right now.
Oh, yeah.
That is true. So
Curtis is the mainstay.
Yes. Curtis is as of right now, our main bassist. He's wonderful. He got into it because we were playing shows with Monkey, and we've been looking for solid players that know the genre. And we come from a small cow town in Modesto, so it's really hard to find talented players that know the genre, that they're knowledgeable of how to play. Because most people, they'll look at or listen to the song, it's like, that's simple. But it's really not simple. There's so much nuance. It's on the 2 and the 4. It's not on the 1 and the 3. The way you're playing is completely different. I know I had to really learn how to play guitar, how to upstroke and everything. So
I learned that at an early age.
there you go. Taylor Nitto, he was saying that's how he knows how to play
Dude.
guitar.
I'm right here.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't resist.
Yeah, but I mean, I kind of, that's part of it. So, you live in this really small town. Most of what people are listening to and what's being played live, and we don't really have a dedicated music venue anymore either. So part of the struggle that, Dave went through for a long time and that now we're going through together.
Long time.
The fact that if we want to go play a show in Fresno, we have to talk to a friend who knows a friend who knows a friend. And when you're trying to get together for practice, a lot of times, some of our best shows we've ever played, and I hate to say it because, the best shows we're playing now are with Curtis. But before that, the best shows we were playing was like with people we hadn't even practiced with. You don't really know what you're going to get. You're 100 or more miles away from somebody, and you're trying to connect over the internet, and you're trying to convey what you want and become cohesive. And then you just kind of have to say, hey, I need exposure. I need to get my band out there. We need to go play the show. And then you'll have somebody that you only talk to a couple times. They practiced a few times, and then it just comes together and it's great. But that's kind of how it's been for us for a while now.
Yep. Ever since, we had Billy Gay was our solid bassist for 2.5 years. He was amazing. Played on a 5-string fretless bass, sang beautiful harmonies. Man, well, it's going to be really hard to replace him. So this whole time we've just had fill-in bassists, even fill-in drummers, because our drummer is Chewy. Martinez from La Maldita
La
Cruda.
Maldita Cruda.
Yeah, they're from San Jose. Sorry, don't speak Spanish, so I had to really think about it. And but he's not always available. He's in like 2 or 3 other bands, So we have to find players like in Fresno or local players, and even when we're booking when we're going out to Alabama, we are using like a drum pad for the kick drum.
Oh,
And Jules will be playing that, and me and Curtis will be playing the music, and we're all singing along and stuff. So it should be really fun. But at Ska Alabama, we have a huge, huge surprise for everybody. We got Foolish Relics helping us with that show, so we'll have a full band, all the
Nice.
horns, full drums, So it's going to be really fun when we actually make it out there, July 12th.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bring in the This Is Ska family from both coasts together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because Foolish Relics, you helped put out their record as well. Correct?
And that's another co-release with Mohawk Mike Records, who the Bracers will be hanging out with at his house about a half hour away from Birmingham, staying with him. I think Curtis is going to have to sleep out with the dogs, but who knows?
Such a gracious host.
I'm tying him to the roof. He doesn't know it yet.
Which, thanks, Mohawk Mike. Big shout out to you. Big up.
Yeah, we interviewed Foolish Relics last week, and Mike was telling us he's having like 17 people stay at his house or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's having a party.
Yeah, really, it's like 2 ska bands.
Yeah, pretty much.
Two ska bands and
Yeah,
friends.
just 2 ska bands.
1.5 technically.
Now tell us about what is Gold Rush Ska?
Oh, so Gold Rush Ska is a term that I coined recently since we're from California and we're the Gold Rush state. So I just went with Gold Rush Ska.
Okay.
Traditional ska, people know what that is, but
So
Gold Rush Ska is very regional.
I'll interject here, and Dave will disagree, but Dave used to have a roommate who was a comedian named Jimmy Maniz, who also has a release on on Beat Happy Music. Jimmy Maniz hosts a somewhat monthly comedy show called Gold Rush Comedy. Now, Dave doesn't want to admit that, Dave was such a big influence on him. Jimmy used to play trombone for a band called Longshot, who later members of that went on to be part of Maldroid, but which was members of KGB and Solomite. You may remember those kids. But it is Gold Rush State. And so sometimes you got to, like, New Rock Steady. That's another term Dave coined. That now we've seen a few other bands pull up and say New Rock Steady. So there's that part.
Even our club that we started, the Central Valley Reggae and Soul Club, I've even seen people try to coin those terms, like when they're trying to promote their local shows. So I don't know. Take my ideas. I don't mind.
Hey,
who's trying to take your ideas, Dave? Who's trying to take your ideas? I'll stab him.
Oh no!
Just kidding.
Well, I mean, imitation is a form of flattery, right? Yeah.
I like pretzels. I like what was it, cookies? I like pretzels.
I like
cookies.
chips.
Yeah,
I like
chips.
pretzels, but I don't like murder.
Quote from O.J. Simpson.
That's the first line in the O.J. Simpson book. I didn't kill her. I didn't kill the bitch, but if I did, this is how I'd do it.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I just learned today somebody made a fake Instagram account of mine. I'm like, what is this? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but can you tell us a little about let's see, who writes the songs? Does it start with a guitar riff or the lyrics?
So most of the songs, well, actually all the songs on the EP, besides the 2 covers that we added on, they were all originally written for our first show. So I had booked our first show and I was excited for it, but I was planning.
Monkey.
Yeah, Monkey was supposed to play, actually. Yep. Monkey was supposed to play. I ended up replacing them with Sacto Storytellers. Or maybe they were supposed to both be on there. I can't remember. They had to cancel for some reason.
Okay.
And
Curtis a little bitch.
Right. And so, yeah, like I booked the show and my friend at the time was telling me, hey, you can't just play covers. I was like, oh shit, you're right. So I had literally wrote 5 songs, maybe 2 weeks before the show.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and then they've been with us ever since. And
those 5 songs.
Yeah, those 5 songs. One of them didn't quite make it to the EP. yet. Maybe eventually it'll be like a bonus track. But yeah, I wrote it for those. Each song is usually about something that I experienced personally, or know someone.
Okay.
So that's where I usually, write the songs from. And Jules helps with the vocals. She's been really doing a good job. We've been recording our single recently for the new Specialized compilation. So this will be our third year contributing. Really excited. We've done Shaka Khan, Ain't Nobody last year, if you've heard that track. And then we also did Borstal Breakout by Sham 69 for the first one that we did. Yeah. So this next one, I think it's, what is it titled? Femme or For Her, or I can't remember.
It's like female power anthems.
Yeah,
I don't know what
Her anthems.
Femme Her anthem. Yeah. So that's the idea, right, for this year. So we went with Heart of Glass by Blondie that we're currently recording. Really excited for.
Happy
it sounds
birthday,
really good.
Debbie Harry.
Yeah. And we have Aaron Porter from the Prize Fighters guest starring on guitar on that one. So we're really excited about it.
Very nice.
And
who's playing sax?
Use your brain. Use your brain. Sax
oh,
man.
yeah. We also have Dub Robot, Brian Wallace from Sublime, Long Beach Dub All Stars. He's playing saxophone on the track.
And
more hands.
What else do we got?
No, he's doing the.
Oh, and he's mixing and mastering. Yeah. So.
Yeah. He mixed and mastered the.
Like, what are you talking about, man? Yeah, mixed and mastered.
Brian's pretty awesome.
You'll have to forgive Dave because he's working out in the hot sun at this festival all week.
Yeah, I'm so hot.
Now let's talk about the evolution of the band. Before you joined, Dave, how did this change the direction of the band that you were in? Because I saw videos and things before Jules was in, and the sound has evolved, has made it. You've been a lot nicer, better, smoother, in my opinion.
More professional.
How has that changed since she joined?
Yeah, I'd say more professional, because when Jules joined the band, she's very hardworking, but she also knows what needs to be done. So she has a lot of really good ideas. So a lot of the time, we'll have players come in, and I already know when she doesn't like somebody that we're working with or not. And the sound, it's all about the music. So, sometimes they won't quite work out right away, or we'll have people that we worked with and it's like, you know what? They're not quite going for the sound that we're going for, and I think before I would just work with people because I'm like, well, we're in a small cow town and we don't have anybody that could really, that's my boss, of anybody that could really, fill in those roles on drums, bass, lead guitar, organ. We currently have a lead guitarist and an organ player, but, everybody goes through life and they get busy. So, I understand, and I give everybody room in the band. I also have a creed. It's like, if you're not having fun, I don't really want you here, So if you're not having fun playing in the band with the Bracers, you're not having fun at the shows. It's like, what are you doing? Go have fun with where you want to be, So
yeah, and that was part of the story with Billy. As Billy,
he has a family, got a new job, so.
Well, he wanted to have fun, and he always said, if this becomes work, then it's something that I'm have to, and that's understandable, but I think between Dave and myself, if you were just to view us as kind of like the people that are solid and rooted, we're definitely a working band. Like, we put in a lot of effort and work, and we thrive on trying to perfect things and to make them, the best that whatever we can produce, the best that we can produce.
Like, speaking of the EP, we recorded that 3 times over with Roger Hanner at Celestial Sound Studio. And we made sure to get it right. We knew that we were going to send it to John Roy from Escape Hatch Records. He had an organ, he had a baritone sax, just made it such a better production all the way around. And I can't thank him enough. Yeah, the sound. And that's the thing, is like, it sounds so much more professional with him involved. Brian Wallace mixing or mastering. He mastered the EP. Them working together is just a powerhouse at Escape Hatch Records. I'm not sure if people realize that yet or not, but they will. And especially with this EP, like we just had so much fun, and we're really proud of what we did. So I hope you guys like it.
And then I would say that a big part of, I mean, as you said, the band started in the pandemic.
That's true.
So
We
it
did.
took a little while to get things rolling.
It did.
And unfortunately, in our area, there's, I wouldn't say 100, there's like 5 Cali reggae bands. But it's
Probably
like,
more than that.
hey, you like the genre, the Jamaican? It's Cali reggae.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
unfortunately, that is such a weird thing, and they get caught in that. So finding a drummer was usually either a rock drummer or somebody who was not into it, but just was a solid drummer. A guy named Dave Rogers and his son Seth both played with the Bracers at different times. Dave
Really good, really talented.
much more got into the sound of it. And there's a guy, Ray Becerra, who's played on the album, but also he's more of a blues folk drummer.
Americana.
He's very well in tune with music, so he got it. But he's in 3 different bands.
Mm-hmm.
So and Dave's in like 5 different bands. So that's the other part. You find somebody who's understands it or can listen and be attuned to this tone, the tones and the sound, but they're playing with everybody else, which makes it difficult. And I was like Dave was saying with Monkey and with Curtis, Curtis, he sees the value in what the Bracer's doing audio wise, sound wise, and he wants to see that because there's not another band, in our area, not just Modesto, but really Northern California, that is trying to bring the Jamaican sound, true tone, we'll call it.
Nice.
Okay.
Not two tone, not new tone, but true tone.
True tone. Okay.
Out,
You better
out to the
patent
world,
that right
out to the community.
Patented. Coined.
We've been
coin. There's a video he saw with his new coin thing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we
What is
won't
that?
get there yet.
Okay. We'll get there. I guess.
I want to take it to Vegas and gamble and see if they don't catch me.
Put it on red. 50 on red.
Yes.
On red.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to, we've been so fortunate. I think part of the whole thing is, I didn't start off with just being in the band with Dave. Like I had known Dave for a while. We started dating. My whole thing was, I don't really want to date a musician, number one, because I know how ridiculously complicated we are. And the other thing is I didn't want to be in a band with somebody I wasn't like, if you break up, the whole band's, falls apart and all that stuff. But we seem to make it work. And not only that, but I really believed in what Dave was doing. I heard his original songs and I felt so moved by the lyrics. He's lyrically just, his writing is insane. The fact that it was like 2 weeks before a show, but there's so much raw emotion and it's so genuine. And for me, any good music, doesn't matter if it's a genre I like. If I don't believe what somebody's trying to convey in a song, then it just doesn't hit the same way. And it's like Dave's original songs are so authentic and real. And I just really believed in what he was doing. And we've been very fortunate with all the people that have just kind of jumped in and been supportive, from people who are playing with us to producing and promoting. We've had a lot of help this last year, especially. And we're just really grateful.
Agreed.
Can you tell us how you guys linked up with Mida? I know you guys are from the same town, but how did you link up with Mida and John Roy to do the cassette release?
Right. So I met Mida years ago when I was in my band City Psychology.
City Colonoscopy.
Yeah, Shady Colonoscopy, right. And it was like an indie rock band.
Okay.
But we didn't really connect till I started the Bracers, really. I started the Bracers and he's like, what? A ska band in Modesto that I don't know of? And he's been so supportive. He's played every single track that we've ever released on his radio station. Well, multiple radio stations, right? His show.
Yes.
Was it 70 stations now?
I will say right now, I just got a text that there's 42 people listening to my show in Bristol, Virginia on Pirate Flag Radio, which now you can hear daily a little bit of that same old show.
I saw that. Mikey Rude.
Mikey Rude.
Yeah.
Mikey Rude. All right.
And thanks for the support, Mikey Rude. Thanks for buying an EP. We really appreciate
But
it.
yes, Dave, send me some stuff early on. I played it, had the show. I helped him, navigate the very first show they played up at the Colony in Sacramento. He was just like, I want to do this, and there's basically it broke even, which was nice, but it was one of those things where the Colony, if you're not like putting it on there, the people that work there, it's $200 to rent, which is not bad because some places charge you $600.
Mm-hmm.
But Dave was like, okay, we talked to Curtis and went back and forth a while. All right. And then, like some of the members, I guess, couldn't do it. So they fell out. And what was a Simple Solution and
Simple Solution, Sacto Storytellers.
Sacto Storytellers, you guys.
And DJ'd by Young Royal, Corey Tulloch. Yeah. It's a really good time.
So that was the very first one.
Yes.
And then once they, started rolling, and that was out in Sacramento, not even Modesto. And then I think we did the 1 year anniversary show. Was that it?
I think so. Was that so. Ralston's Goat?
Yeah, Ralston's Goat. And then just kind of worked in. And then Dave wanted us to start putting on shows. So I took some of the, what I've done, said, hey, do this, do that, whatever. And he's just moving forward in that. And, just kind of working together to move forward and create something, hopefully in the long run, sustainable, but at least give a chance for people to come through and play. And so it's been a good partnership. So, Dave does sound. So it's like, okay, he'll come out and do sound if it's a show I'm doing. They're going to be playing with the prize fighters. I think you just recently interviewed.
Yes.
Coming up at the Queen Bean. We're doing it a free show.
July 16th.
Racers are following, ending their tour, driving back to Modesto, hopefully getting some sleep.
Oh, yeah.
And then, playing with one of America's other great ska rock steady bands.
Get home, pass out, and then we're going to load up and do sound for that show.
And perform.
Yeah, and so right now I'm actually working High Sierra Music Festival. I get back a day before we leave on tour, basically. So should be fun.
So what was the connection with how did it get to John?
So John, I'll start with Mida had introduced us to Roger Hanner. We recorded the EP at Celestial Sound Studio in Modesto. We then sent it off to John Roy, who he's so gracious to help us in so many ways to just boost up the production scale of what we were doing and just make it sound amazing. And so Mida had introduced John to us. We met him at Supernova last year, and he was really interested in what we were doing. So I sent it over to him, and he had a baritone sax, some organ, some backup vocals, and then he sent it off to Brian Wallace, Dub Robot, to master. So really a team effort.
Thanks,
I've known John since the, Gangbuster days.
Mm.
Oh yeah,
early on in his career, not his very first band, but early.
Yeah,
first Ska Band, I think.
Wasn't Colorblind? Wasn't that his first one?
I'm not sure. He was in a couple different ones. He was in a soul band early on. So I'm not sure what was he probably was like a lot of musicians. He's probably in a half dozen bands that he was in that didn't do anything, practice in a garage. So I'm not sure exactly which one was the first one that actually had some sustainability. I know that as far as recording wise and all that, I think Gangbusters might have been his first one that he was writing songs for and doing. I know the soul band he was doing, I think he was just playing saxophone for. So
yeah, the Gangbusters was the first ska band I ever saw. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, They opened. It was in 1990. They opened for the Specs, the Skeletons, and the New York Citizens.
Nice.
That was.
Specs were great too. All those bands were fantastic.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, yeah, they were great. They were great. Citizens should have played. They should have played last. A lot of people left, but I wanted to see them. But yeah, John Roy, that's a good person to hook up with.
Yes.
It's me. Is it me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. No, I love all the different Instagram posts and all that. The one I like the best for me is the pool video before Scallop for going to Scalabama. My favorite part is when Jules says, "What up, Rudy's?"
Yep, yep. We had a fun time with that one.
It looked like it was fun. Who was filming that for you guys?
We just put it up on a clip on a
Okay.
mic stand. Yeah, next to the pool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Use what you have, right?
DIY, you know.
Yeah.
That is cool. That wasn't really my question. I just wanted to say that. But walk us through your upcoming mini tour. We know you're going to play with Josh Coots, Junior Ska Boss out there.
Yes.
We've got to give props to him.
Wait,
Yeah.
how did you
Las
pronounce his
Vegas.
last name?
Coots.
Not Cunts.
No, you're the one that told me how to pronounce it.
That's
Everything
funny.
is tons to you, Midda. What the hell?
I know, right? Got some
You
money
know
in
what's on his mind. And then you got Scalabama. No, you guys are going to play with, is it Warsaw?
Warsaw.
Warsaw Poland Brothers, July 8th at Casuelas Cafe in Palm Desert, California.
Yeah. And then on the 9th, the next day we play in Las Vegas for Shut Up and Skank.
Yep, at Double Down Saloon with Junior Ska Boss, and we're playing with the Sandbox Bullies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then we're
Yeah, for them.
driving to Scalabama.
Yeah, straight to Scalabama from there. And we will be there for the whole time in Scalabama from July 11th to the 12th.
Very nice.
Yeah, and that's
Then
at
you head
True
back
Story
over.
Brewing, Birmingham, Alabama.
Then you head back over for the prize fighters.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
on the 16th at Queen Bean in our hometown.
Yeah, we head
I was, are you guys going to have to drive like all the way overnight?
No, they got 3
Probably.
days or 4 days.
Yeah, we got 3 days after that, so
Yeah.
we gave
3 days
ourselves
after.
enough
Okay.
time.
So 12th is the last day.
Overnight.
Yeah, so
Huh.
2.5
I just
days
gotta-
ish.
I just got a text from your buddy Josh Coots right now. He got my band a show.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice. All right.
At
The Good One Club.
Jammyland. Jammyland.
Jamming in?
Nice.
August 24th. No, August 24th.
Yeah.
With the Goodwin Club.
Hey.
Nice. Came through. Sweet.
Then later on in
Congratulations.
July, we have a 3-day camp out thing where we're playing over at Berkeley Tuolumne Campground. So that's gonna be fun.
July 28th to the 30th.
Yep. And then August
And then you got a big
2nd,
show coming up in Santa Cruz.
yes, Mo's Alley with Western Standard Time on the
Oh.
2nd of August.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys
Dream
took
come
one. That
true.
was one of my questions.
Oh, sorry.
That's
And
okay.
is that one featuring Jesse
That's
Wagner?
okay. Mina seems to do that every time he's on.
Well, he's the
But it's
third
okay.
He knows
co-host,
too
so he
much.
knows.
He knows too much.
No, we had one
It
person.
wasn't me.
Who was it that we had on here? We had someone on here that answered every question before we could ask it.
You're talking about Go-Go 13?
Was that Foolish
Oh
Relics?
yeah, it was Parker Jacobs from GoGo
Okay.
13. Yeah. and then you know how he sketches something like every day and posts it? He sketched one for us that said, "I'm sorry I talk so much."
That's awesome.
That was pretty funny.
Yes. So, Midda,
Great.
can we talk about this challenge coin that you got going
Challenge coins?
on? Yes.
Challenge coins?
A challenge coin. What is that all about? Oh.
I sent some of these off to Florida today.
Uh-huh.
But I've thought about it for a while, and I just recently decided I was going to, double down, actually order them.
Ooh.
Nice. This is the first ever challenge coin, right?
This
This is the
challenge
first
coin?
ever
Oh,
Ska's challenge
responsibility spelled wrong.
coin.
Oh, no.
I'm just joking.
You got him.
He's like,
I'm not responsible for that.
He probably
So-
knew. He probably looked at that thing like 300 times.
Right?
So,
He knows
the deal is you got a challenge coin.
It's
Okay.
precious.
So I got my This is Ska challenge coin, and I decide, I'm feeling pretty confident that this is going to beat anybody in the room. So I slap it down.
Uh-huh.
And then Tazy Phillips comes up and he slaps down a Ska Parade one, which is
Okay.
never going to happen because he had to pay for that stuff, and he's a cheap. I'm not going to go there. But
Okay, now,
say somebody
now
else
we've got
goes,
to edit. Now
somebody
you've got
goes
to
and
edit.
goes, I got my Skanking Force one. Boom.
Okay.
And I go, sorry, buddy. This is Ska beats Skanking Force.
Yep.
You owe me a drink.
Oh, yep.
Or, somebody throws one down and you have one that you think is better, you throw it down. Now you might have to, argue the point, hey, this is Ska. Is that going to beat,
How about Chuck Wren? How about
Skanky
Chuck
Force.
Wren?
Chuck Wren or Jump Up Records?
Yeah.
You know, it's like I have more media presence, but and as Meta Goodwin, I've been doing it longer than Chuck. You know,
Right.
supporting the ska. But you know, this is ska 5 years. Chuck has 35 years with the label. So if it's a jump up, you know, it's kind of like, you know, maybe I got to buy him a drink. But it's discussing what are the values of it. But you know, it's like, hey, this is ska, this ska jazz. Sorry, Sorry, Charlie, you owe me a drink.
Now, how about if I
he's
was?
going back to his
I do believe
Sunkist.
that Jose Rojas will be ordering some challenge coins soon.
Yes. Dang it.
Maybe, you know, I'm not sure which thing he's decided to invest in first, you know, for challenge points, but he'll be doing. And I heard that Sean Brunson, who used to do Catch a Wave, but runs Shenanigan Records, and also is the singer, guitarist, songwriter for Bet on Red, is going to do some. Probably, he said, for Bet on Red and for Shenanigan.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, you know, it's just getting people to start doing that, putting them up, and then you know, right now it could be, you know, two people show up at the same place, both have challenge points, and they're pushing it because it's just this is ska.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
like
gonna
a,
get a slammer
like
made.
a pog thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna slam
Yeah.
your pogs, dude.
Yeah, like yeah.
Exactly.
This is gonna be very interesting,
cool.
I think, because yeah.
It'll take a
Now-
little while, but I think Jose can he has two legitimate challenge coins, one from the VA and one from a military school, correct?
Yes, not a school.
A
My
school.
yeah, a regular elementary school. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it originally came into the military and it'd be given for special purposes. Hey, you just, you know, and that's not everybody gets. It's like, hey, you like, we're the number one in your class for Airborne Ranger School. You get a challenge coin.
Mhm.
I have a friend who has two. One he carries with him because he doesn't care if he loses it, but it will beat 99% of all challenge coins out there. And he has one from an admiral. Both of them are from the same thing that happened. Him and his people were on a boat, and a wave came over on the ship and knocked over some crewmen. His team went into action and saved these people. One of them was an admiral's son. So because he was the squad leader, he got the challenge coin from the admiral, and you know, but he was like, dude, you know, but they're not going to give him to everybody. But since he was a squad leader, and he goes, I feel that, you know, I wasn't the one jumping into the ocean.
Mhm.
You know, I'll pull people up. I went, hey, get into action. We jumped in, but I was just in command. The other one happens to be our current president, but when he was the last president, and that's one he carries around because he doesn't care if he loses it.
Why doesn't he care?
And being a presidential challenge coin, and he literally goes, that one. Apparently, he gave them out to everybody. That one guy, you know,
they're not that rare.
And so he gave out a ton of them, and so he's there. It wasn't planned, but I got one here. I'll give you one too. And
Did he put his name on it too?
Well, no, it doesn't have his, but it's a presidential one, you know, so it probably has a number on there. What I'm not sure exactly. He showed it to me. I didn't, you know, it was like, and he's like, you know, I carry this one with me. If I get jumpy, I usually, but a lot of times what he'll do is, my friend, because he's legit, you know, he'll buy for everybody. He won't even do it. One time he was ready to buy drinks for all these servicemen, and he's an officer, and as he's opening his wallet up, his admiral one fell out because he had that in there. He had both of them at that time, but that was the thing. Oh, dude, it might fall out of my wallet, and then I lose. I don't want to lose this one because that means something, you know, because the admiral actually, you know, isn't just throwing them around like, you know, candy corn. But it fell out, and they're like, we should be buying you a drink. You know, it's like, you obviously have something much more rare and significant than whatever ones they had. And he's like, no, you're the ones actually doing the heavy lifting, and I make more money than all of you. So I'm buying your drinks tonight.
Very nice.
So I respect that. But yeah, I also respect, like, okay, so, and he goes, usually I pull out the presidential one when it's a bunch of other officers trying to be all bully. And he's just like, oh, yeah, no. Click. And he's like, unless it's, Kennedy or, Carter or somebody else legit, somebody who's, he's like, I'm beating all of them.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
it's
so
pushing,
Yeah, so this is going to be very interesting to see the ladder of where these coins will go. I think
Yeah.
in the stock
And so
community.
and because like I said, I'm giving you some to take with you.
Yes.
If you can get names and hopefully if they're on social media, because we're going to build a page, me and Jose are, so that we can get people in there so they're all in it, so they can like share them, and when new ones get out there, hopefully they'll join the Ska Challenge and continue building this, and we can kind of rate which coins are which. And then part of it, like I got a guy in the UK who's doing a bunch of events, and he asked me if I said, I'm like, well, yeah, I'll send you one. So he's a musician, but also he's doing a scooter rally and a ska show in Cardiff and all these different things. So it will get out there, and there are people that look at him like, what? Because it hasn't become a thing yet.
Yeah,
it has to become a reality first, and that's the first coin. But my coin would probably be more significant there once it gets going than some local band or something, because it will be rarer there, and that will be the other thing. Hey, I got a Los Fastidios or a Lollipop Lori one, and there's like 5 in America, and somebody pulls out, a Hub City Stomper or whatever. Hey, I got this Toasters one, and like 8 people throw a Toasters one down on the table. Then there's that rarities factor.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
Right.
Sounds like
Have you seen one of these?
Sounds like you and Jose are becoming good scamigos.
No, I don't use that term.
That they're like, it sounds like gambling, so they're scombling. Is that what it is?
I don't do ska puns or the ska puns and furries are the lowest common denominators in fandoms.
Oh, that's funny. And fan fiction.
No offense to Daryl's longtime scamigo.
It's an inside joke.
Inside joke, yes.
Okay. So I think Jose, it was your question.
I think that was my question about the challenge coins. Remember?
Yeah, the ska coin. So hopefully those will get out there. A lot more people. If you're watching this and you got a label, a podcast, looking at you on the update, Checkercast, get some challenge coins made. If you hit me up, I can give you the place I've got them from, plus give you a discount code of 25% off. Bringing these down for under $1 a piece.
Very nice.
Yes, nice.
Now you guys briefly touched upon the show you guys are going to play with Western Standard Time. Have you guys ever seen them play or played with them ever?
Actually, no, I haven't.
Yes, Minnow, we know.
I know Minnow's seen every single band.
He's seen every band.
Son, yeah.
Well, I've checked them out. I had to check them out. I always do that if I know I'm going to be playing at a show with band I haven't seen before. I try to listen to their stuff so that I'm not totally ignorant when I get there.
They're pretty impressive. They're fucking
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Dave owns an album by them.
I do. I have one of
It's
their
at my
albums.
house.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to swap. I like the one that you have, though.
Which was it? One of the Scatolites ones, or was it?
It's volume 1 and volume 2.
Yeah.
He owns volume 2. I own all of the records by them. Amazing band.
Even the Christmas one with the donkey.
I do have that one. Yes, where Jesse Wagner sings all over it.
Yeah.
We were
I also
super
have
excited to play with them.
Go Jimmy Go Christmas album and the MU330 Christmas album, all on vinyl.
Is Jesse going to play with them up there?
Yes, Jesse Wagner will be there singing. Yeah.
Very nice. Very
Nice.
nice.
It'd be cool to see him. I love the Aggrolites. So
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Now, the song "At the Pub Again" sounds so tough when I heard it, with the cool bass line accompanied by smooth horns and the lyrics. Can you tell us more about the lyrics? And it's not just a drinking song at the pub, right?
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's actually about my personal experience of like searching for love in all the wrong places. Getting into fights at the bar. Getting your tooth knocked out. It's a song about life. Taking a girl home on your scooter, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Yeah, I just want to say.
And obviously, everybody could send in a picture and be included in the music video as well for that song. So
Holding up their
send a picture of you with your
Yeah.
pints.
Well,
Yes.
here it is. Here's my picture, I guess. You know,
There you go.
the
Here's
angels.
a screenshot.
Screenshot. Yeah,
Cheers.
screenshot it.
It's so funny.
I love that, especially with the bracers background.
Yeah, that's great.
awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
Your best
So-
cheesy smile.
You
Yes.
guys talked about how the name the Bracers came about. Have you ever heard of another band from Germany called the Braces?
Oh, yes.
Actually, I have.
Yes.
I have.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know Minna has for sure.
Yeah. They're
But-
more like punk, right?
No.
Oh, okay. They're
Not
ska
at
as
all.
well.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
they're one of the few bands that have a violin actually.
Oh wow. That's cool.
But they're pretty good ska. They're one of the tamer of the German ska bands. I've got to say, probably the tamest, right?
Probably,
Yeah, probably. The
or at
tamest.
least one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
one.
Germans over-engineer everything.
There's some damn good German bands. We interviewed No Sports and the Butlers recently. We have Bleckritz coming up next week, next Sunday.
Week, yes, I believe so.
No, Sunday after next, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just reminded me every time I hear Bracers, I think of the Braces also.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
instant
we
no
wear
sports
braces.
band.
Posters before.
On stage.
Yeah, I saw that with your friend. Yeah. Now, that was kind of a question, but any plans to play Supernova coming up?
Oh, we would love to play Supernova. Love
It's a
to.
dream.
April, if you're listening.
Yeah. Hey, we'd love to play. I'm excited about seeing Loving Poppers this year.
Ah,
I love
Cable.
Are they
Supernova.
coming back again?
Yes.
Love and
They
Poppers just got announced
didn't they?
on
Yeah.
Friday.
so-
Yes.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
mhm.
Oh, I missed that.
Excited for them.
announcement.
The band's favorite band.
Yes.
You know that
Yeah.
The cables.
I toured with George and what's his name? Oh my God, the bass player. I can't think of his name right now. I toured with them when they were the Decepticons back in
Oh, that's
'98.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So George they totally changed from punk ska to the rock steady trad reggae stuff that they play now.
Yeah.
It's like indie
Yeah.
reggae is kind of like what's that band? Portishead?
Yeah, well, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the
Of course, that
Enya.
reggae.
It's like the Enya of ska. Like for me, it's so soothing. It puts you in a good mood. You can drive to it, clean to it, do anything to it.
I literally
Yeah.
put that on that album to just kind of zero out and jump in the pool and just kind of
Yeah.
relax. It's a relaxing album. Love it.
Great band, great album.
Hmm
Yes, we contribute a lot to their Spotify plays too.
That's true. All the time.
And looking forward to seeing these two guys at Supernova as well.
Yeah, we should have our records by then too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Daryl and Jose are coming
Are
out.
you gonna be
and-
there? Sweet. Yeah. Woo.
Yes,
Yeah.
We gotta-
I'll be
and then-
there for sure.
We gotta
And then,
represent.
hopefully we'll all have our press passes.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have
April, if
so
you're
many-
listening.
We have so many friends going. I was thinking about making a phone tree so that we don't miss each other.
Oh,
That's
yes.
true.
That would be
have
smart,
a lot.
probably.
You guys should
Yeah.
all like meet up at like noontime at a certain place or something.
420.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, 420.
Right.
This guy,
The town square.
this guy and
420
Cassie
underneath the statue of Pasteur.
Right. Exactly.
Oh.
this guy Jose and Cassie from Ska Box decided on one of the discounts that we're gonna that she's gonna be giving for the promotion, and they decided on a code. What was the code?
It's SHH 420.
Nice.
You'll get 40% off your Ska Box purchase. Your subscription.
Really?
Yes.
That's
Hold on, I'll be
awesome.
right back.
I love Ska Box. They're so great.
Before I forget.
Yes. So I guess that's my question now, right? The next song that you guys I heard was "Glad She Stayed Away." First, I love the baritone sax in this song. Is that John Roy?
That is John Wright.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Oh man.
It
Awesome.
could have been Brian Wallace too. You
Oh,
never
that's
know.
true. Right. Yeah.
Right. Now, again, this song has such a great vibe, bro.
Thank you.
Like at the pub again. And can you tell us a little backstory of who this woman is, or did they to be mentioned in the song? Yeah.
Yeah. So that song is actually about my ex-girlfriend, and basically how hard it was to leave once she got physical.
Ooh.
Domestic violence is not okay. So I had to leave that situation, and I wrote a song about it. Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
You want to hear it? It goes like this. Go over to Bandcamp, the Bracers, and listen to all the tracks.
That's true. You could even go to our social media, click on our link tree. The EP is right there, 3 Million Miles EP, right at the top.
Nice. All right.
It'd be easy to find.
Yeah.
Who
If you
chose the
purchase
artwork
it,
for that with the astronaut?
Oh, yes, the
yeah,
artwork.
and if you
Okay, so
if you
that,
purchase
oh,
it, if you
what's
purchase the
his
tape, you get a
name? I can't
download
remember his
code.
name.
Mike?
It's Mike, yes. For he does the art for Escape Hatch Records.
Oh yeah, of
I
course.
just can't remember his last name.
So the great thing about that, as far as the release too, is the continuity. The tape is blue. You know, the cover is a little altered, but it's the same design for the cassette that will be for the 7-inch. So
Yeah,
it has that flow.
Moonstone
Very
Blue.
professional.
Very
What are
cohesive.
they? What
So
are they?
Moonstone
is this
Blue.
is Mike that works at Genre? He's the satanic puppeteer guy, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, got it. Now I know. All right. Now, currently, for all three of you, what are your current favorite ska bands that you're listening to? And you
Ooh.
can't say the Bracers.
Did you want to go first, Minna?
I'll let you go first.
Okay. I have to say Steady 45s are probably one of my favorite bands right now. They just know how to do it. They do their homework. You can tell that they were inspired by Hepcat and, C Spot and Jump Up Joey and all those really good bands down in LA. So they're just like the epitome of the LA scene, if that makes sense. Steady 45s, Agrolites, but yeah, Steady 45s. They really know what they're doing. Every time I see them, I'm just in awe and watching what the guitarist is doing, and all the horns too. And they really back up all the greats too. I think I saw them back up Derek Morgan recently, or was that was last year, right?
And
Oh, no,
Stranger
that was Roy
Cole.
Ellis.
I believe it was
And
Stranger
they play with
Cole.
everyone, so
Yeah.
Alton Ellis.
Alton
Yeah.
Ellis. I saw them with Rudy Mills, Keith and Tex. Yeah, like who don't they play with, really?
They
Yeah.
they're bringing the Magnetics out for 2 shows after Supernova. Actually,
Oh, awesome.
to LA. They're playing in some Mexican restaurant in Anaheim, and then they're playing in San Diego. Not a John Roy show, one of John's friends that's doing
Awesome.
the show out there. But yeah, but we'll be in Supernova still.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's cool that they're doing that for some of these bands.
that is cool.
Jules?
For me, the Fuss
Oh, yeah.
out of DC. Andy Leo is such an amazing energy, and she's actually a really awesome person too. I've actually sent her a song today. I was like, "Oh, can you do a ska song out of this?" She's all, "That's a really good idea." But yeah, that band is incredible. And it was weird how I came upon it because there was a sale and most of the records were all taken up, and I got the Fuss album, and that was it for me. So, and then they so happened to be playing Supernova last year. I was like, yeah. So
We showed up early for them too. I think they went on first on like Saturday.
they were on
or
at like
something.
11 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Last year, the
made
first
sure to get
band
up.
DJ was a jump up band.
Right.
Yeah,
Was
so
really
the
good,
Jump Up
yeah.
record sale, and they're on Jump Up Records. Yeah.
Chuck Rain knows
Yeah.
what he's doing. That's for sure.
And then there's
Yeah.
this, I've been listening to a lot of Latin ska lately, and there's this particular Latin ska band, but unfortunately, like I just can't grab it on my head right now, but I will.
The Los Mablo Hablados.
Los Pasados?
Yes.
Yes, well, they're them too, yeah. So I kind of have this Latin ska thing going on right now.
All
I feel like-
right.
and then we played with Skaldic, so it's like, Skaldic is really good, and
From Chile.
Chile, right?
Yes.
And their new album is amazing.
Yes.
Check it out.
Really
Yes.
good.
And I really support their band. They're great people. We had them over at the house after the show. They were just fantastic guests. So definitely support their music for sure.
Excellent. So,
So you said not the Bracers. So since the Bracers are Modesto's only ska band, I can't pick anybody else from Modesto. But I will say, and you said newer, so I'll come to that. But one of my favorites
Oh, of
all
course.
time is a Fishbone.
Stone.
That's a new release. Stockholm Syndrome. But I'm excited that I was able to pick this up.
The Ballad of
Melbourne.
Oh yeah,
Melbourne
Melbourne
Ska
Ska Orchestra.
I picked up this one and their 20th anniversary album that came out last year. So they've been around. They're old enough to drink as a band. So not a new band, but in that newish fashion. And they're coming to town. I'm very excited. First time seeing them will be the Prize Fighters, who
yes.
the 3 albums in, they're working on new material, but I've always enjoyed them. There's a ton of great bands, but it is one of those things. You're a decade in before you really start getting something going. So new, I don't know. I like what's been recorded by Bad Operation. Haven't seen them live. I've seen live footage of them and not really sold on it yet, but I like them. I know they're not a favorite of Mikey Rude, but I got to shout out to my little brother Omnigon. Got to give a shout out for that. And I got to give a shout out for Foolish
Flat Planet,
Relics,
right?
because got to do a little nepotism there.
What were you saying, Daryl? Formerly of who?
Oh, formerly of Flat Planet.
Yes, he did play with Flat Planet for a little bit. Also played with Link 80 and Lucky Strikes. Nara Boots.
Lucky Strike, just one strike, right?
Lucky Strike, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. I just know because what's his they were always playing with Meal Ticket.
Yes, they played with Meal Ticket a fair amount. Slow Gherkin some. Yeah, good times.
Exactly. So, what one song?
Oh, and then another one. I got to give a shout out. Killer Dealer. I'm digging the Killer Dealer.
Nice.
Yeah, I have 2 of those CDs of theirs, the part 1 and part 2.
EPs,
they're actually pretty good. Oh yeah, we have them coming up too.
Yes. So, what one song is one of your favorites, but too embarrassed to tell anyone?
Are we asking each person?
Yes, we are.
I'm gonna have Jules go first.
Yes, Jules, go for it.
I wouldn't even be able to tell you right now, honestly. I don't feel embarrassed that I like any of the music I do. I mean, are you talking about any genre?
Yes, any genre. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I honestly couldn't come up with one. I'm proud of everything I listen to. If I do an end of year Spotify, I usually have like somewhere around 2,100 artists that I listen to in a year's time. So
Okay.
So I have the receipts and everything. Like I love music and I'm not embarrassed to like it.
All right. Well, how about a song that's kind of odd, other than ska? How about that?
I will interject here because I'm gonna have to leave soon anyway. But not embarrassed. I don't embarrass easy. If you have watched the video for Maldroid, you want to touch it, you'll know I'm the robot in that, and it's glorious. So just putting it out there.
Okay.
I don't embarrass much, but I never bought the album. But if it came on, I would not turn the channel, and that was "Feel Like a Natural Woman" by Shania Twain.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She that it's country, but she was like the Pat Benatar of country.
Well, she's nice to look at too. She's a beautiful woman.
Well, that's true too. But I mean, and then Rob Rock, who produced Metallica, but also the Payolas, also did some stuff with the Beastie Boys. Produced it. So it's like there is that high, like full on rock and roll soundtrack.
There you go.
Okay,
I'm embarrassed for Daryl though. I'm embarrassed for Daryl because he bought it.
I love it.
Actually, name one.
I got it at the Goodwill.
I listened to Sia out of Australia. So I listened to Sia before she became really famous.
Okay.
And she did a cover that was done by the Pretenders called I Go to Sleep. And that is something that you wouldn't think I would listen to, but it's actually really, really good. So it's her cover of the Pretenders song I Go to Sleep, which is kind of an obscure B-side, but I'm a B-side girl anyway. So hey, there you go.
But not the B-side.
Oh, Daryl, you have everything.
Number 5, I Go to Sleep. Number 5.
Boom.
Yes, it's a fantastic song.
That's cool.
Oh my
There you
God.
go.
Oh, you take it off there, Mina, or
Pardon? Before I leave, yes,
yes?
I should probably take off. I got to help break down a fireworks stand here in Modesto, California.
Okay.
So if you're in Modesto, California, and watching this, which you won't be, come on by. But next year, come on by. Check out at 610 North 9th Street, the Graffiti USA Classic Car Museum. So shout out Supernova. We'll be out there,
All right.
all of us. So come on out and say hello. Compliment Jose on his crazy going full force, 99% full force, skanking in the pit.
Nice.
Pick up the EPs, pick up the Fuller Rally. But as I always say on my show, like and follow the bands. There's a ton of them that are on this show almost weekly, sometimes twice a week when they drop. Make sure to like and follow them. The stations, the labels, the podcasters, and everybody else that brings you great music, because that's a way. And go see them live when they come to your town and buy their merch. And like Chris Murray and King Apparatus used to say, and Curtis tries to co-op, make them rich.
Buy our merch, make us rich.
Speaking of merch,
much,
I'm
Mina.
going to shamelessly plug our new shirt. So.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's our new shirt design. Boop.
That was produced by Brian Hanover from the Hanover Saints and Revolution Inc. out of Sacramento, California.
Yeah, and the design was by John Soto. He originally designed a Hepcat logo and Scofflaws. He's worked with a few different bands too. So
nice.
Really
I like
cool.
that. I like that in a logo format. I mean, the badge format.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. I need to get
with
one of
the
those.
dancers. Yeah,
Yeah.
It looks tight. Yeah.
Yeah, we got new stickers too, so we'll have them at Supernova.
we will.
Right.
Nice.
Cool.
And so if this makes it, I'm assuming this will be get out before the tour. Dave will have some. So if you can convince him or Jules that you are worthy of a challenge coin, they have a few. Some already slated to people, but there will be a few extra that somebody might be able to convince them that they are worthy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you're going out to Supernova,
Maybe go 110% in the pit.
Right.
there we go. I was going to mention at Supernova too, John Roy is telling me that the vinyl should be available at Supernova as well.
And he will have a
Excellent.
table there filled with State Hatch Records product. And, like I said, hopefully you've mentioned Cassie and Ska Box Rock, skaboxrock.com. We hear that she wants 40 of the cassettes. So, hopefully we'll get them in her hands so she can ship those out in boxes that you are purchasing with that 40% discount.
Yes. SHH 420 is the code.
That is a perfect code.
All right, kids. Great seeing you all.
All right.
We'll talk on the flip side.
Yep.
Good seeing you too,
an hour and
Grandpa.
an hour-ish minutes of me talking. That's a short time. So
Well,
I think at that thing,
we'll
I've
see
set
you
a
in a
record.
few.
Not
We'll see you on
talking too long.
Saturday morning.
Seriously.
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning with Mike.
We don't do puns. You and your scamigos, just get out of here. I'm not talking about you, Jose, because you're not a scamigo. You're his friend and amigo. Dave, amigo. Scamigo is a pun on the Spanish word amigo, but with ska, which means friends.
Thank you for the explanation. I did not know.
I know your Spanish is muy mal.
You would have never figured that out.
I would never figure that out. Oh my gosh.
At all. Like
His Spanish is not so good.
Muy poquito.
Muy poquito.
And
Isn't that one of those like
Jules is the
taco
scamiga.
things? Poquitos.
Poquito.
I love those. Dip them in a little salsa, maybe a little cheese, and eat those poquitos. All right. Once again, my pinchueros. I'm out
hold
of
on,
here.
I need a sip of my
That means very good
Scotch
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bye, Reverend.
Thank you, Mina. Take care, bro. Oh my god, what a character he is!
It really is. Man.
Oh my god, I love him. I love him.
Yeah.
All right, where are we at now? I believe Daryl is your question now.
Is it
Oh
me?
no, wait, no, we didn't hear David's answer.
Oh yeah. So
yes.
I'm not really embarrassed, but
Okay.
a band that I love and I have almost all of their records. Why with the question mark? They're like indie hip hop. Not something you normally, think that I would listen to, but they're one of my favorite bands.
Fantastic, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Why with a question mark? They're called.
Why with the question mark? Yeah, they're
Oh.
originally from Berkeley, and I think they're out of Cincinnati, Ohio now.
I had a CD by a band called the Why I Oughtas,
Oh, that's
not
cool.
the same. Yeah.
Yeah, not the same band. Yeah.
Didn't Dave got involved with some like subscription to brand new artists? Isn't that how you got into them?
Well, actually, I was introduced to them by the French Cassettes years
Ah,
ago when my band City Psychology played with them. They're a local
oh,
band,
okay.
French
Mm.
Cassettes. I don't know if anybody would know them, but I think they're in San Francisco now. But yeah, he had introduced me to Why with Question Mark, and I've seen them probably like 4 or 5 times live, and have all their records, and yeah, have like a signed poster from them, like
Yeah,
so. Yeah, really good band.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool,
Now,
cool.
since we know that ska does not pay the bills, if
No,
you
it
care
doesn't.
to if you care to share, what are each of your occupations?
Oh yeah, cool. You want to go first, Jules?
I am in home health care, so I care for children with special needs.
That's
Mhm.
important. Very
Mhm.
important. Good for you.
And
And then
I do the same. So we're both in
yes,
home
we
Oh,
care
we
really?
do.
caregivers. Yes.
Oh,
And I also work as a stagehand right now. I'm working the High Sierra Music Festival. I've also
Yep.
worked different festivals like Sierra Nevada World Music Festival is really cool. I work at
And
different venues around town, locally or in the Bay Area. So yeah, so I'm a stagehand and a caregiver.
Okay. You know
and a
why they call it High
DJ.
Sierra,
And
right?
a DJ, yeah, sound
Oh yeah, I
So
sound
do.
production and yeah,
we
all
have
that.
a sound production company
I
actually
do.
that we have together.
Soulfi
And
Sound Productions.
yep, so we do
Say it
sound.
again.
We
Soulfi Sound Productions.
so
Got it.
fine, something.
And I'm
yep.
sorry, Jules, go ahead.
So it's Soulfi Sound Productions, and we, believe it or not, right now, we are, with all of our sound gear and stuff in 2 BMWs.
Yeah, yeah. Just
and
cram them in there.
and we haul all of our stuff, but we've done sound for all kinds of bands that that we've played with, like Stop the Presses, and
Oh,
we
nice.
did we also do festivals. So we have Central Valley Ska Festival, and we do Ska Patrick's festival, and then we
I
have
usually do
Maximum
like
Ska
Dave
and Tea.
Stock,
Hmm.
Hey,
Yeah,
stock.
so
So
Dave
we have
Stock,
a
yeah.
lot of work.
Yeah, we do. And we also we do provide sound for the city. So we work with
Mhm.
Modesto View and the Modesto Area Music Awards
Oh,
to provide sound for live bands downtown. So we provide like a community events, and we also
Mhm.
help deliver the Modesto View too. So
Yep.
we
awesome.
like to give back to our community.
That's
Cool.
amazing. Good for
Cool.
you guys.
Now, I guess follow-up question. With this new beautiful bill that they're trying to pass, will that affect your, yeah, will that affect
Oh, totally. I
special
mean,
needs
me and Jules,
funding?
yeah, we might not have a job, we might
Yeah.
not have a country anymore. Pure
Oh man.
fascism is taking over, and it's rearing its ugly head. And I think everybody needs to uniformly cut it at its head, like the
Yeah.
snake it is.
Mm.
Mm.
Really, it's not okay. It makes me and Jules honestly feel like moving to out of the country. Really, like
Yeah.
it's like
Uh,
I don't feel safe with my kid living here in the country. Our kids living here in the country.
Dave and
So
I are also both, half Hispanic. So, we, Mexican in particular, if you want to identify that way. And I have family members that are first generation and second generation. And, and I have two children that are special needs as well,
mm,
and well, we have three.
that's true.
So, um, we have three very marginalized kids that are at risk, and then we have family members that are at risk, and we have friends. We have, you know, friends that are in fear of going shopping and in fear of just doing regular daily things,
Going to
because
work,
they're
going to
abducting
church.
kids. And now we're finding
Mhm.
out that, it's almost in lockstep with what Nazi Germany did in World War II. I mean, first they got rid of the illegal immigrants, then they got rid of,
The journalists.
well, and then it was citizens, and then it was people that were, in not in agreement with them, and then it was LBGTQ people, and then it was,
The disabled. Yeah.
so it's a scary time in this country.
It
I'm
is.
afraid for people traveling here,
Mhm.
especially ska bands that are foreign. We were really worried about Supernova. Um,
Yes.
and I
Yeah.
really don't know what the future holds, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I was
But
talking to
Unfortunately,
one of the
yeah.
guys from the Magnetics today, and he was telling me that they don't even have their visas yet.
Oh
They're
wow.
having a
Oh
hard
man.
time getting it. So, and
Right,
that's
of course,
what, a
yeah.
couple months away. It's like 2 months away.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
yeah, you almost have to get a nomad visa now in order to even get in, is what I'm hearing. And it's so crazy. Like I honestly feel like right now,
Mhm.
I feel like writing songs to fight back against what's going on,
Mm.
Mhm.
and it's like I have so many feelings about it. But
So,
A lot of artists do, I believe, right
yeah.
now.
Yeah, me and
Mhm.
Jules
yeah,
have been writing some songs, that's for sure.
I think
Yeah.
that's the best thing we could do. Like I'm just waiting for somebody to say, "Hey, we need to make like a collaboration and, put some funds towards like legal fees for some of these people." But it just feels like it's such a huge thing to try to cover. Like it almost feels like you just can't throw enough at it to really stop it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can try, but you're really throwing a rock at like a boulder, like a
Mhm.
pebble at a boulder. It's hard.
Yeah. And I've heard of there's individuals that had tickets already, uh, come to Supernova from like Canada, and they're selling
Mhm.
their tickets. They don't want to spend their money here no more because of the
Right.
relationship of how
Mm-hmm.
this administration is treating Canada, our neighbors. You
Yeah.
know, it's like
Yeah.
what? Yes,
Insane.
On one
it
hand,
is.
like I don't want to tell people don't come to Supernova. I don't want to
Hmm.
say, it's not a good idea for you to play Supernova. I definitely want to support Supernova. We need it.
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
is absolutely
That
necessary.
is true.
And but also at the same time, I can't say at the same time that, hey, please come. Nothing's going to go wrong. You're safe here.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me the most,
Yeah.
because this has never in my entire life been a feeling like this of just fear.
Mhm.
And and it's not even fear of the unknown. Like we're seeing these things unfold right in front of our eyes.
Yep. Yep.
True.
So
It is crazy out there right now. It's like wild.
um,
Yeah. So anyway, Daryl, you got something?
Um, my famous question, what are each of your pet peeves and addictions?
Okay.
Ooh. I'll
We
go
only got a
first.
couple more.
I like smoking weed
All
and
right.
drinking beer, so those are my vices. My irritations, oh man, I think I have a long list. My family motto, and that actually ties into the EP a little bit, is "Don't annoy the lions." Actually, no, that's the one song that didn't get on the EP. So
Uh-oh.
eventually, maybe it'll be a bonus track. But yeah, "Don't annoy the lions" is
Okay.
my or "Noli irritare leones" in
In
Irish.
Latin or what?
In Irish.
Oh, Irish. Oh, it sounded
Yeah,
Latin to me.
yeah, yeah. Well, everything
Irish
originates
I
from
Gaelic.
get.
Latin, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I understood it. I'm like, what?
yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, don't know the lines. Yeah, I don't know. Stupid people irritate me, but I don't know. I try to
Yeah.
give people patience, so I don't know. It takes a lot to
Smart.
irritate me.
Jules?
Jules?
For me, I like things organized, and with that being said, is I like things to be scheduled. I like to know when to expect something's going to happen, and I like to know who's going to be. I'm a planner, so I like things really like organized
Mhm.
and to run really smooth. And part of what I think I drive Dave crazy is because sometimes I'm like, do we have somebody for this date, or who do we blah blah blah, and he's just like trying to figure it out, but I'm still
Yeah,
so
most of the time.
I get anxious about it because
Oh.
I kind of like everyone likes a guarantee in some things in their life, and it's
Mhm.
like a lot of things in my life I don't have control over, but over this some of these small things, like I need to have it. Like for instance, my car, I like to keep it as clean as possible. It's the one place where like I have full control over what's going on. So I like a really clean car. I don't like fake people. I don't like liars, imposters. I like people to be genuine. And that's really it for me.
Cool, cool. Now, now your logo right here, the Bracers logo behind me, has a picture of a beer. You guys,
Uh-huh.
do you guys love beer?
Yes.
Yes, we
Haven't you
love beer,
seen haven't
but
you seen all the posts of them over at all the breweries?
right, yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, what is your favorite beer right now in style? Yeah.
Ooh,
Yes.
favorite beer? I would have to say Murphy's. It's a stout from Ireland.
Oh,
It
Murphy's beer,
beats
that dark
Guinness
one,
hands down.
that
Yeah,
dark, dark. Oh my god!
dark. Yeah,
I
Mhm.
Murphy's.
tried it. I tried that in Germany. I couldn't drink it, bro.
Yeah,
It's too
nice.
dark for me.
Yeah, you like more
Yeah.
the lager or the pilsner?
Yeah. I don't know what it was, but it was so dark.
Oh, I see.
Not available here though. So I mean, like what's available here, we drink a lot of Guinness. So you'll see us with pints of Guinness all over the
Okay.
place on our pages and
Excellent.
stuff.
All right. Cool. Cool.
Yeah, and
Cool.
what's cool is, the logo is off of the, what we named it after, a bracer, right? An alcoholic beverage to prepare you for something uncomfortable. So that's kind of, where the logo came from too. So tie it
Oh,
in.
that's
Yeah,
awesome. Good little history knowledge there. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we put some, two-tone checkers, because got to throw it back
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
to the
Haitian.
second wave,
Right.
Yeah.
And the leaves.
Right,
I
yeah, we
just
got
got
the
a couple
laurel,
more.
yeah.
Jose, how many more do you have?
I just got two more.
Okay. Go ahead, because mine are basically the follow-up or
All
the
right, here we go. Any weird venues or locations you guys have played at?
Weird
Weird.
things or
Yeah, like weird
location.
or unique.
like a
Stockton.
slaughterhouse or something? Oh,
Oh,
Stockton.
No, we played this one show. It was 107 degrees outside,
Oh
Uh,
God.
oh,
and we were outside
oh,
on basically right next to the river in Stockton at this venue, and we melted on stage. It
there was no
was
Wow.
cover for you guys or what?
They had like sun cover over the top, but it wasn't done right to where the sun just went right
mm.
through it.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
So
I'd have to say the basement of a person who we found out was a murderer, their workplace, the basement of their workplace.
that's true. Yeah. So
That
we
is the
have a
weirdest
local
situation we've ever
murderer
been
in
in
Modesto.
that
Yeah.
we found out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Touche. That's better.
That kind of, it almost reminds me of that movie Green Room.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
no, I love that movie. Yeah, Nazi punk, fuck
Yeah.
off. Yeah,
It was a really weird thing when we figured it all out.
That
So
is weird. Wow.
yeah,
That's a crazy little story there.
You
yeah,
hightail
I
it out
think
of
we
there
can
then?
top it.
yeah,
All
yeah. They're
right.
still playing around town too. It's weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow. So my
Mhm.
final question to what I've been saying to everybody now, if you okay, our viewers, if they haven't heard of you guys before, the Bracers, which song should they queue up and why?
You want to go with yours, Jules? Your
With
choice.
my with well, I'm not no.
Well, okay.
I
If you don't
okay.
know the Bracers, I think the first song you should listen to would be "At the Pub Again,"
Okay,
just
good. It
because
is a good
it kind
song.
of covers, the basis of the foundation of what we're trying to do, right? And I would say "Ain't Nobody." We did the cover of "Ain't Nobody" by Shaka Khan. Joel's voice is just so beautiful on there. Like we've had such good response from the audience, and it's most highly requested song that we've done. So I know everyone just really enjoys it. I enjoy playing it. I think we did a really awesome job just doing a different take. Doing it as a rock steady song instead of an '80s pop song. So
Mhm.
that would
Yeah.
definitely be one of my first choices if you didn't know who the Braces were.
Cool, cool.
That and I think that part of the fact that we've now done we're now on our third specialized
Third
project.
specialized, yeah. Which thank you,
So
Paul Aris and the specialized team.
yes, thank you very much. And then too, like if you listen to any of the songs that are in those compilations, you'll be supporting a teen cancer fund in the UK, which is amazing. So I think it's really important to balance, doing the music that you want to do, but also participating in something that gives back, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we interviewed Paul Willow from the Scapones a few weeks back, and he
There
was
you go,
telling
yeah.
us about the good stuff that they've been doing out there with that,
Yeah.
which is very cool.
Yeah.
We hope to play the specialized festival one of these days, the big one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Nice.
Now, what does the future hold for the Bracers besides new material and tours? What's the big picture for you guys?
Big picture. Okay, well, I eventually want to have an 11-piece band, 3 horns, the trifecta, saxophone, trumpet, trombone. Get some more backup singers. Jules does a great job, but a couple more backup singers would be great. Organ, lead guitar, solid bass and drummer. We need more players. So if anybody's interested in playing with us, hit us up. We're always interested in getting more players and seeing who's interested in touring with us. Because not everybody's available for that.
Yeah. Don't
And I
forget the
think we're-
melodica. You got to get a melodica in there.
Yeah.
Curtis has, Curtis
Joel's
has
bust out the
melodica.
kazoo sometimes. So if you catch
Oh,
it,
yeah,
I have played the kazoo on stage. I am not even ashamed of it. One thing I was going to say too is I think that Dave and I are coming to the realization that we really kind of are at a point where you're gonna hit a point where you have such huge momentum that you've built up, you're really going somewhere. But unless you actually make a huge move towards your goal, you're not really going to, stay in that momentum. And part of that means we may have to move to where the sky is instead of hoping that it comes to us. To be honest with you, I think most of our issue is demographics, and then too, affordability in California is really tough. So these are all things that we have to contend with, and things that we have to think about. So, yeah. I just want us to be successful, and I want people to enjoy our music and hopefully be happy when they hear it,
I think in the future, we plan on owning our own music venue, dedicated music venue that touring bands could stop by, that we run. I plan on being a stage manager one of these days.
Awesome.
That's the future for us. And as far as a band, it's just more music, more tours, probably more. And I took a different approach to touring this year. Instead of playing a whole bunch of local shows that we've been doing, I decided to be like, hey, let's play some important shows. Let's really go for those shows that really mean something. And so, we really clung on to Ska Band, and we're like, hey, let's head out to Alabama. And we planned a whole tour around it. So we're going out of state for the first time, and we met a lot of people. We made a lot of friends so far, and we can't wait to just get out there and share with everybody the new EP.
Yeah, excellent. I wanted to shout out to Brian Burks and Randy Scott are
thank you for booking
hosting
us.
Ska.
Yeah.
And just say thank you. Brian Burks has Wantful Things, which is an amazing kind of a cool curio collection of cool stuff. And, so check him out if you're in Birmingham,
Yeah. And doesn't Brian tattoo as well?
Yeah, so that's that Wantful Thing. So you can find all kinds of weird oddities and curios there, as well as get a tattoo.
Nice.
I think his wife is in a band too. I can't remember the band's name, but
oh, Hannah, I should have written more notes, but hey.
Yeah, we tried to take as much notes as we could. And we got the dates right this time. We interviewed with Mikey Rude. I was butchering the dates so bad. Dates and locations. It was bad.
Now, where can we find your music, both physical and digital?
So physically, as of right now, you're either going to have to order a merch bundle from us, which you can Venmo at the Bracers Band, $40, and we'll ship it out to you. It comes with a shirt, pin, a sticker, and cassette tape.
It looks like one of those moon package or something like.
Yeah, it comes with in a Mylar bag,
which
you can reuse on your space journey.
Nice.
Or one of those things where people are out in the desert and they need to stay cold. You know, those.
Oh, it's true. Yeah.
Stay
You can use
warm,
it as a
stay
blanket,
warm.
a sun blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's Smile Arts. You could also use it as a Faraday, you know, at the end time too. The apocalypse hits.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and then okay, so the other way to get it physically would be at our shows, as of right now. I'm trying not to make it too easy to order it online because I want to get people to shows. I want to get people to order the merch bundle right now to fund the tour. And then we also have it digitally. If you go to our link tree on any of our socials, the 3 Million Miles EP will be right at the top. So you can listen to it on Bandcamp. You can buy it digitally if you want. Yeah, so
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Now, any last words for your fans out there and the viewers of Ska History Hour?
yeah, we just want to thank everybody for supporting us, and thank you for having us, Daryl and Jose and Mida and Jules, lovely Jules, for always providing just grace and wisdom. Like I just want to thank like my family and friends too. Like everybody that supported us ever, bought shirts or grabbed a sticker and slapped it on their workbench at work. Like I can't count how many stickers I've slapped for the past 4 years, and I kind of feel like most people, they kind of know us because I've slapped stickers everywhere for the past 4 years. So. But yeah, I just want to say thank you.
Awesome.
Excellent.
I concur. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope our music makes you happy. I hope that you find connection with the lyrics and the songs. And I hope you want for more because we want to make some more music. So thank you.
Definitely true. We have some written already.
That's amazing. Well, thank you both. We really appreciate your time. Can't wait to see what the Bracers have in the coming future and see you at an upcoming show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll see you over at Supernova.
Hello, Skankers. Jose here, aka Skanking Force. Would you like to win a free Ska Box? It's as easy as following Ska Box Rocks and Sniff Dog Records on Instagram and Facebook. And subscribe to Ska History Hour on YouTube and comment Ska Box Rocks in any video to enter. Good luck!